Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our sixth match of the day, Ireland against Denmark. Let me introduce you our referees. The center referee, Steve Crump. The assistant referee, Nico Balan. The second assistant referee, Nordic Sobovitz. The fourth official, Clément Berretolu. And the teams. For Ireland, with number 3, the captain, Emer O'Sullivan. With number 6, Sean Donegal. With number 7, Tom Donegal. With number 9, Matt Crowley. With number 10, Aoife McNichol. With number 11, Neglis Monvillas. With number 12, Liam Lynch. And the head coach, Adam Crowell, and the assistants, Daniel Gilbert and Andy Carr. And for the Danish team, with number 10, the captain, Kasper Volker Petersen. Number 1, Michael Jensen. Number 7, Mark Kornerup Sorensen. Number 8, Thorbjørn Krarup. Number 9, Fazad Nabazada. Number 11, Elben Fogsen. Number 23, Tristan Faravola. Number 27, Carla Jort Neyman. And the head coach, Henrik Rasmussen, his assistant, Simon V, Benjamin Rosenström, and the team manager, Pernille Sorensen. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to head over to our guys here, Ryan and Greg, for the stream. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup. Our attention now turns back to Group B, where Ireland meet Denmark in a clash that feels absolutely pivotal for both sides. Denmark come into this one on the back of a really disappointed 2-0 defeat to host Italy yesterday, a game where nothing really seemed to click for a squad of their calibre, ranked 5th in the world and built around an experienced core of Kasper Volker Petersen, Thorbjørn Krarup, Michael Jensen, Mark Kornerup Sorensen and Albin Vongsen. It was well below their usual level. The expectation, however, remains high, a semi-final spot, and with it World Cup qualification is almost a non-negotiable. But to achieve that, they must show far more control, sharpness and attacking intent today. Ireland, meanwhile, are looking to right the wrong of Sydney, where they finished 10th out of the 10 teams at the 2023 World Cup. That campaign was very difficult, but what's striking is that core of the team remains much the same as we see here in Italy. Maybe there's a real value in that continuity. They've been through all the highs and lows together. They understand the demands of tournament football, and they've had time to grow as a unit since that experience. The World Cup exposed just how fine the margins are at this level, but it also gave Ireland clarity about where they needed to improve. That shared knowledge built over the last 2 years could now be their greatest strength. This Nations Cup is their opportunity to show how far they've come, to channel the frustration of Sydney into determination and to prove they can compete with Europe's best. Guiding them now is head coach Adam Crowell, who was part of the England coaching staff when they lifted the Nations Cup in Finland back in 2019. That experience of working within a title-winning setup could be invaluable. He knows what it takes to succeed at this level, and he'll be looking to pass that knowledge onto a group eager to make their mark. So the backdrop is clear. Denmark wounded from yesterday and needing a response to keep their semi-final hopes alive against Ireland, who are motivated by past disappointments and carrying the belief that this familiar group can finally make their mark. We are soon underway.
Yes, what a dramatic start yesterday. Denmark, a team synonymous with European power jet football, failing to really show anything against the Italians, who, buoyed by hosting this tournament here in Milano, Sabbiadoro, really put them to the sword. They will want to show much more of themselves. They're a shadow of their usual selves. Ireland, same players, new shape, new style. Like you say, they'll want to show what they can really do after such a disappointing outing in Sydney. This is a repeat of the fourth place match from Finland 6 years ago. Ireland won dying minutes. We'll see if Denmark can get revenge, and this is a game you feel like is must win for Denmark.
It certainly seems that way. You can probably gauge from your screens now, they're certainly going to switch things up tactically. Albin Vognason currently in that goalkeeper jersey, which is a deviation from that of Mikael Jensen. But one of the biggest concerns for Denmark is the defensive stability. Against Italy yesterday, they just didn't look themselves. Gaps opened up too easily. They struggled to deal with the direct play, and the organisation that normally defines them as a nation just simply wasn't there. This is a side with so much international experience, so it was so surprising to see them really rattled and conceding goals in a way that felt almost uncharacteristic of the Danes. But absolutely must win. And if Denmark are serious about reaching the semi-finals and securing one of those 5 World Cup tickets, they have to rediscover their defensive discipline quickly. Clean sheets and controls at the back have always been the platform for their success. Without that, their attacking quality won't count for nearly as much.
Never mind being must win for semi-final place. You think if they don't get anything out of this game, they're going to be struggling to even make the playoff for that 5th and final ticket to Argentina. Bearing in mind, they've still got to play England out of this group. They can't be going into a game against England needing a win, because Scotland, if they carry on playing like they are, will give them a stern test as well. They don't want to be getting into a must-win scenario against England, or then going into Scotland knowing the pressure is on to even get a chance of going to Argentina, let alone making the semi-finals.
Due for kick-off in around 5 minutes' time. The starting squads have been confirmed. It's Ireland have Matt Crowley in goal, Aoife McNichol, Tom Donoghue and Emma O'Sullivan complete their starting 4. And for the Danes, Albin Vognason in goal. I suspect it will be Kasper Volker Petersen in the centre. Torbjørn Kropp and Mark Kronop Sorensen complete their starting squad. That was something we noted yesterday when watching Denmark. They tried to experiment. They started with Kropp in the centre. Then they trialled Albin Vognason there. That didn't seem to work. Then it was back to the familiar shape with Kasper Volker Petersen. No matter what they tried, no matter what they tested, they didn't have an answer to the Italians, who exceeded, I think, everyone's expectations.
One thing to note as well, they are a sub down. Tristan Faravola is in the stands watching this one. They don't have that option from the bench should they want it.
Yeah, have to try and understand that decision from the Denmark side.
They seem buoyed, they seem jeered. It does look as though Torbjørn Krarup is going to stay in the middle. Persisting with the captain on the wing instead. We'll see if it has more success in this one.
It's almost a cliche, but I really see the first goal being absolutely pivotal to the outcome of this game. And I would very much suspect that both will want to take a lead early and settle. I have no doubt the nerves are incredibly high. Ireland, their first game. Denmark trying to right the wrong of yesterday.
The teams have got set up a little bit early. They're going to carry on having talks and knocking the ball around because the kick-off is not scheduled for 2:45 Central European summertime.
The Italians very punctual. Just gives the starting four, as you can see on your screens, that final chance to align and ensure that they come flying out the traps. We sat down to preview the Nations Cup prior to it kicking off, and we both highlighted this as one of two games that we encouraged any and everyone to tune into as potential deciders for, in this case, Group B. Obviously, Italy didn't follow that script and have already thrown a spanner in the works, certainly for Denmark. In Group A, we highlighted the Belgian-Northern Ireland game as one that could deliver fireworks. So this, the 2:45 kick-off here in Italy. Following that, we have two further games. Germany versus Northern Ireland should be a great one. And we conclude with Italy versus England. Our officials for this one: Steve Crump from England in the centre, Nico Balin from France, and Nordin Subovic of Austria on either side. The fourth official, Clement Bertilou.
We're in for a good atmosphere again.
And Torbjørn Krarup gets us underway. Contact immediately from Tom Donoghue. One thing we can probably anticipate is Steve Crump being a little bit more lenient with contact than that of other referees. He'll do anything and everything he can to facilitate free-flowing football, which is exactly what it needs to be. Aoife McNichol into Tom Donoghue. Doesn't have the pace to catch up to the ball, but a bright start from Ireland nonetheless.
Great front bumper pick off there by Aoife McNichol. Tom Donoghue not quite alert enough to the potential of that. That flick from Krarup is too far in front of Pedersen, too flat. He needs more angle on it to get down the wing. Are we going to see go backwards to play forwards?
Donoghue into Krarup. Beautiful control. You can tell that the teams are just trying to find their rhythms, very congested. It wouldn't surprise me, as is the case there, if we see a high prevalence of 2-on-1s in the opening 5 or 10 minutes while these players establish themselves in their respective positions. Matt Crowley comes over to take. Aoife McNichol on the left puts it central.
I mean, that's too simple for Ireland. free kick on the halfway line, lump it up to the box, 2-on-1, free kick on the edge of the box.
Yeah, I said there'll be a high prevalence. It doesn't surprise me at all. That will be the first of many. I just hope as we get into the real core of this game, that prevalence decreases. Emma O'Sullivan to take, indirect free kick down into Thomas Donoghue. That's disappointing that no real direction or power to locate her number 7 winger. Out of play for another Ireland kick-in. Angled out of initial danger by Vognason. Advantage played by Steve Crump. Rightly so. Brave approach here from the Republic of Ireland. All 4 players in the Danish half. Kasper Volker-Petersen completely unaware as to the ball's placement, which is fired off the back of his chair. Strong contact as the ball is trapped between Vognason and Donoghue.
That was a hefty hit.
You can just see they're so focused on winning possession. Some instances like that are sometimes inevitable. But Denmark yet to really impose themselves in an attacking sense. Maybe an opportunity now. Well left by Korop. Over to Kasper Volker-Petersen. Not before 2-on-1 in favour of Republic of Ireland. It was a well-worked opportunity. But for both nations, they're going to have to really be considerate of their positioning, because already we've had 5 or 6.
But that was already that. I know it was ruled out for a 2-on-1, but that move was nicer than
it's best we've seen, isn't it?
It was nicer than most of the things, if not all the things they did yesterday afternoon.
I don't disagree. They need to get back to those passing patterns. They scored a fantastic catalogue of goals in Sydney. And that's why we was just so shocked to the performance they produced against Italy. Nowhere near the levels they have shown time and time again. Kasper Volker-Petersen into Torbjørn Krop. That's a brilliant goal. That's exactly what they needed. I said that the first goal could be crucial, but more importantly, the first goal would dictate momentum. And that is the case. 4 minutes gone, Ireland 0, Denmark 1.
For the great start Ireland made, Denmark utilised set pieces to get themselves in front. Great ball in by Petersen. You've got to say, Emma O'Sullivan's gambled on it going to the back post a little bit too early. It's left a great big gap in between her and Matt Crowley, and it's an easy finish for Crowrup. Obviously there is a danger of Crowrup dummying it and it going to the far post, but you've got to be alert to the present danger. It's too easy from an Ireland point of view defensively. But that'll do Denmark the world of good.
Absolutely it will. They've already shown in the first 4 or 5 minutes of this one far more sharpness and attacking intent than the entire fixture against the hosts. And hopefully for them, their competition is very much underway. The question now is, how do the Republic of Ireland react? They will be desperate to be on that plane to Argentina. But based on recent form, they're almost underdogs, and that strong contact once again from Thomas Donoghue. He's going to have to be careful. Whilst Steve Crump hasn't signalled anything, that is the second or third we've had so far, and there's still a lot of football to be played, so I would not be surprised if that yellow card comes out at some point. Nice pass there from Krop. nice intent there from Kronop Sorensen, but Emer O'Sullivan does well to block it out. It's good play from Aoife McNichol, cushioned into the path of Thomas Donoghue. Interestingly, allowed to just roll. My attention was elsewhere. I suspect that Aoife McNichol collided with Kasper Volker Peterson off the ball whilst Thomas Donoghue was in attack.
I think it was completely accidental.
Yeah, completely. Certainly no malice in it, but that doesn't take away from the fact she did make contact with the Danish captain off the ball. So what was an Ireland attack will now be a Denmark free kick. Just under 8 minutes played. Ireland 0, Denmark 1.
Ireland, of course, haven't played a game yet. Denmark have, although it was a loss, and we said this in the preview podcast, they come into this game with at least an opportunity to get some full match experience under their belt in this tournament. Any rust they may have has been well and truly shaken off, whereas Ireland come into this fresh. Yes, they've played a couple of friendlies, but nothing beats, competition football.
It's a nice cushioned pass from Torbjørn Krop there. Already he's showing so much more confidence in that central role, which we know is absolutely imperative to a team's success. He's going to have an opportunity here. Correct decision that from Steve Crump. Torbjørn Krop was just locked onto the ball, and Kasper Volker Peterson not quick enough in vacating the space. But 9 minutes in, Ireland really struggling to find a rhythm and impart some quality on this game into Aoife McNichol. Thomas Donoghue is going to test Albin Vognason, tries to push it to the back of his chair towards that left-hand post. Very cagey though, even with that 1 goal advantage. The lion's share of possession has been in the Danish defensive half, but Ireland yet to make it count.
It's an option here, McNichol.
Yeah, gets it, but I think a little bit too late. I'd like to see Emer O'Sullivan take a position on that line far sooner than she did. Strong appeals from the Danish bench. Play continues. Danger there. Kasper Volker Peterson had to engage it, because had he not done so, he would have been capitalised on by Thomas Donoghue. McNichol to Emer O'Sullivan. So he's starting to open up a little bit, which is great to see. You can see that bravery and confidence is increasing ever so slightly as Steve Crump signals for that water break. Sure reflections, Greg. I think Denmark, yes, they have that 1 goal advantage, but I wouldn't say they're the better side. But then Ireland just haven't had anything in the way of attack.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Denmark haven't really done much for their lead, but then they haven't been threatened massively at the back by the Republic of Ireland. They've just taken a set piece and been gifted a goal, really. There's been a lack of quality in the middle of the pitch for Ireland, for me. They're not, and then when it gets to the wings, the passes back aren't crisp. There's a lack of fluidity about them, which I think is partly due to them having not played a game of football, a competitive game of football yet. Denmark defensively look solid and have capitalised on a mistake at the back and used a set piece. It's a hard one to summarise.
It is, but one thing that is worth noting, they have got a strong bench, Ireland, certainly in way of experience at international level, and certainly when you're referencing the 3 players. As a matter of fact, all 3 were competing in England in the 24-25 season, and with all due respect to the Irish game, the development of power chair football in England is a level above, so it's exposed them to a greater level of quality and consistency, which will no doubt improve them as players. It's just, can they impart that experience and that development on the international stage, where it just hasn't seemed to work over the last few competitions.
Just seem, at what point does Adam Crowell choose to go to that bench? He didn't really address the subs during that water break. It wasn't a team discussion, it was very much a starting form, what they can improve on. So you always want to see players coming over to England and playing in our league, because we have a high standard of football that can help develop players from across the world. We've seen them from Argentina, Denmark, Ireland. We've got Australia next season.
Ricochets kindly to Thomas Donoghue, tries to take it in his stride, but doesn't quite have enough pace to bypass Kasper Volker-Petersen. Nevertheless, he does have an attacking kick in. He'll perhaps look for that gap over to Ethan McNichol, but it needs power, precision to even reach McNichol, which sadly on that occasion it does not have. Eamon O'Sullivan trying to capitalise on that loose ball, but the defensive organisation of Denmark already far superior than that we saw yesterday.
What I'd like to see, I don't know how far along their journey they are, Ireland, with this 4-out system, is when Denmark is setting up with a wall here, can they push the goalkeeper up? And you see they're blocking off the wall as a reverse out the way now, so you're going to try and go around it. Didn't quite work out. That's a great ball.
I'd love to have seen Eamon O'Sullivan just dummy that. Ethan McNichol was in a lot of space on this right-hand wing, and I think the ball had the pace to reach the Ireland number 10.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing. Has to dummy that one. The ball from Matt Crowley was excellent.
And what could have been a promising attack has turned into an immediate defence. Good work from Thomas Donoghue. Volker-Petersen ricochets off of Matt Crowley. No real direction on that pick-off. Slightly disappointing that from Sorensen. Needs to ensure accuracy on them. But you see one mistake, one lapse in concentration, and attack turns into defence almost immediately.
Such is the nature of power chair football. Crowell with his kick in. Down to Sorensen. Heavy contact there, but we play on. Farrett gets it under control, met by McNichol. Drives forward now at the Danish box. Danielson on the edge of it. Too aggressive with the tapping of the contact. Just on the edge. That was so very nearly a penalty.
Yeah, this is a fantastic opportunity for the Republic of Ireland. You're seeing where Steve Crump is placing that ball, the hazard tape designating the perimeter of the goalkeeper area, just a few centimetres to the right, and Ireland would have had a penalty, but a direct free kick will have to do. Can they make it count? This will be their first sight at goal, I think, in the 16.5 minutes we've played. when games are so tense, so close, you have to make opportunities like this count. Will she do so? Emma O'Sullivan to take. Feints over to Thomas Donoghue. Slightly disappointing option that. I mean, had she not gone for goal directly, which materialised, I think EPFA McNichol would have been the better option.
We saw the idea, but I just don't think it was quite like the best option there. Corner now. Crowd setting up very far, deep in the box. Dummy through, only finds Sorensen, who 180s it. Blimey, that was an excellent ball. Matt Crowley did well to deal with it. Right the way down that ball did Sorensen, firing towards Peterson on the far side.
He engages the ball in an almost unorthodox method. Anyone that watched the Fit for Power Chair Football Club World Cup will know my reference when I say Marco Diaz of Club Nacional de Football of Uruguay, and how he's a very similar player, high and wide winger, and so unpredictable in his shot selection. And Kronop Sorensen exhibiting very similar traits, as we're going to get a substitute signal. It's going to be Sean Donoghue who comes on. Whether or not it occurs prior to this corner, it will, as EPFA McNichol, probably the brightest player for Ireland, is withdrawn from the action. Here comes Sean Donoghue.
Are we going to see a USA style of corner here?
They're certainly setting up. Keep an eye on Krop. Didn't have the accuracy, but on the second phase was engaged by Kronop Sorensen. Out for a kick in.
Tell you what, Sorensen aims that more in the corner, that's going in. There was no cover.
We've spoken about the need of certain players to get their sharpness up in front of goal. This is an opportunity for him to do that. As we approach the final minutes of regulation time, there'll be a minimum of a minute added on due to that water break. Kasper Volker Peterson over to Kronop Sorensen. 2-on-1 awarded. It was a brilliant initial ball, but again I go back to the contact from Sorensen. Yes, a 2-on-1 was awarded, but he did not know that at that time. He's going to want to get his timing connection far sharper than what he's currently showing.
That needs to be buried, regardless of whether you know it's a 2-on-1 or not.
Nice combination play. Right intent from Torbjorn Krop. And now an opportunity cleared essentially off the line by Emma O'Sullivan. She's going to be tested again, but this time Sean Donoghue who pushes it back. There is on the end of some real relentless pressure in the dying embers of this first 20. And this is better from Denmark.
Crowley just trying to marshal Crarup. He's got no one really in support with him.
No, I just think they're trying to ensure defensive stability, and they know they've got that one goal advantage. Pushing players forward would only lead to vulnerabilities in defence, and that ball has to be cleared by Emma O'Sullivan. The pace isn't overly quick. That's a kind ricochet to Thomas Donoghue. Sean Donoghue yet to have any real involvement, certainly in attack, since his introduction for EPFA McNichol, as we've now observed the 1 minute over the regulation 20. Good work from Albin Vognersen. Strong play from the Danish goalkeeper. And wins his side a free kick. Surely the last opportunity of this first half. Down to Kasper Volker Peterson. Collides with the ball. And half-time is signalled. It's Denmark who take a narrow 1-0 lead into the break thanks to a well-taken goal from Torbjørn Krop. It's been a cagey, tense first half with little to separate the two sides. Denmark have seen more of the ball but haven't always found their fluency, while Ireland have worked hard to stay organised and frustrate them. Both teams know how important this game is if they are to go on to secure one of two semi-final placements available, and of course a World Cup ticket. Not many risks being taken by both sides, who are seemingly cautious, but every challenge is fiercely contested and it's all to play for in the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup as we move into the second half of the Republic of Ireland versus Denmark. It is the Danes who hold a slender 1-0 advantage through Torbjørn Kropp. The game has had a real edge to it so far, tight, tense and decided by the finest of margins. For Denmark, the question is whether they can turn the control they showed in that first 20 into something more convincing. For Ireland, it's about patience, discipline and taking that one big chance if it comes their way. This next 20 minutes could prove decisive.
Really could. And we're saying this on day 2, which just shows how important every game is in power chair football. Ireland are being reactive. They're making a substitution, bringing on Naglish Monvillas for Sean Donaher. Ireland need to find some form, and quickly, because although this is their first game, it's very, very important.
Yeah, I like that change. I think it's brave, I think it's bright. Personally speaking, I think Naglish Monvillas is their strongest wide player. Will add a different element, certainly to that of Sean Donaher, who's very versatile, but not one you would typically say is a high and wide winger. Denmark unchanged, Albin Vognersen, Kasper Volker Petersen, Torbjørn Kropp and Mark Sorensen. The Republic of Ireland have Matt Crowley, Emer O'Sullivan, Tom Donaher and Naglish Monvillas. Emer O'Sullivan into Tom Donaher. Can see the intent, but they have to be careful. The Danes looking to capitalise and counter. But Matt Crowley alert to the opportunity and sensibly lets that roll. Certainly from my angle, I thought that would have been an Ireland ball. I must have missed a slight ricochet off Crowley's chair. Either way, Denmark have an opportunity here, and a potential dangerous one at that, as Kropp exchanges some short, snappy passes with his captain, finds the gap, but Sorensen not there to receive, slightly too advanced, but it's not going to matter because Denmark have penned them in, and now we'll follow that up with an indirect free kick. We saw the prevalence of 2-on-1s ease up as the first half went on, but in the second, with a different setup and line-up, the prevalence has begun as Kropp into Emo Sullivan, ricocheted into the head of Torbjørn Kropp, who just shakes it off. Nothing seems to faze him.
It's a cracking header. It's a cracking header. I don't know what the idea was there for Denmark. The further Kropp got away from the goal, and he was obviously going for the 180, he clearly was only going to hit it straight into O'Sullivan's chair.
It's been a familiar battle across this game. Kropp versus O'Sullivan. Ireland just cannot break the press. Maybe an opportunity to do so here. But the longer this goes on in this fashion, it will start to frustrate that squad. Tom Donaher back to support. Emer O'Sullivan has to back off. Torbjørn Kropp. The pace is very slow. Denmark just doing enough to ensure the ball's nowhere near Albin Vognersen.
It suits Denmark though, doesn't it? Absolutely down to a T right now. They don't have to force the issue, they hold the lead. It's Ireland that have got to come out and somehow get the ball off them.
Yeah, you just suspect that Denmark will capitalise with overloads in attack if Ireland commit players forward. So they're going to need a real stroke of luck or a touch of quality, Ireland, if they are going to get back into this. Kasper Volker Petersen into Krab. Nice dummy over to Kronop Sorensen. We've referenced that sharpness. It just seems to be evading the Danish number 7. What could have been an opportunity, as we mentioned earlier, mistakes and lapses in concentrations can turn good opportunities into the necessity and requirement to defend. Would like to have seen Thomas Donoghue in reverse there. He has no options really driving onto that ball. Had he been facing Emer O'Sullivan, the pick-off back to her was there, or the kind of clockwise strike towards Naglish Montvillas, who's had little to no involvement since his introduction at the half-time break. My assessment, Ireland just need to be a second or two sharper. They need to react a little bit quicker with the front bumper pick-offs, with the engagements of the ball, because that moment's hesitation is just giving Denmark the time and the opportunity to set defensively, to the point where Ireland are no real threat, even with the territory in this half. An opportunity here. Unselfish from Emer O'Sullivan, trapped on the line by Torbjørn Kropp. The best opportunity of the game thus far for the Republic of Ireland. Maybe would have liked to have seen Emer O'Sullivan go for goal herself, but I can't fault the intention and the pass.
That 2 minutes, best Ireland have done in this game so far. That is what Adam Crowell wants to see his team do.
Yeah, having watched it back, I mean, Emer O'Sullivan would have had to generate some real power to force the effort towards that left-hand post, but I echo what you're saying. The best passage of play we've seen from them thus far.
I don't think, she had the chair right on her on the right-hand side. She had no way of getting that ball to the near post.
Kept in by Thomas Donoghue. Flicked into the box. A strange decision that from Albin Vognersen. Almost gifts the goal to Naglish Montvillas. They are growing in confidence as Kronop Sorensen has come off in his place, the number 27, Carla Hjort-Neumann. She'll be expected to fill in defensively as Sorensen did, but also ensure she's alert and ready if and when the ball breaks to her. But much better from the Republic of Ireland, who look to be taking the game to the Danes. 28 minutes played. Ireland 0, Denmark 1. Just needed a little bit more snap that from Naglish Montvillas. Would have very easily found its way to Thomas Donoghue.
This game is opening up a little bit. Seems a bit more energy about it, a bit more attacking impetus, you'd say, especially from Ireland. Crowley with this free kick. Montvillas, Donoghue and O'Sullivan leave it to each other.
Just needed two things there. A little bit more angle on the pick-off from Douglas Montvillas and a little bit more alertness from Thomas Donoghue, who had to reverse all of his momentum to go from driving in reverse to forcing his chair forward, and that just lost the momentum. The ball rolling out of play. Better pick-off from Thomas Donoghue. An assured clearance from Albin Vognarsson. It's probably a good job that it did go out for an Ireland ball, because Carla Neumann would have gifted possession back to Thomas Donoghue.
They're starting to turn the screw a little bit, Ireland, putting Denmark under a lot more pressure.
I've been really impressed with Emer O'Sullivan. That's beautiful from Douglas Montvillas. A sensational goal. I was just going to go on to say how good Emer O'Sullivan has been in terms of her distribution, but that dummy by Douglas Montvillas is something we've seen in the English National League. You're seeing it here. He feints to engage it, completely sends Albin Vognarsson the wrong way. Ireland 1, Denmark 1.
He has that in his locker, doesn't he? Douglas Montvillas. I'm up here on the gantry saying front bumper pick-off. Nope, he had me fooled as well. Just fakes the front bumper, turns left, drives it into an open goal. And that has come at the crucial point just before the water break. That changes the team talk for both these teams.
Absolutely it does. They have been growing in confidence. They have been the better in this second half, and now they have made it count. I said they either needed luck or a bit of quality to get back into this side. It was very much the quality element that has seen them go level. Beautiful goal from Douglas Montvillas. Completely deceived Albin Vognarsson. And now we have a real game on our hands. I'd love to be a part of those respective team talks, just to hear the assessments. I would guess that Ireland are buoyed by their short purple patch. Denmark have to regroup. They have to limit the opportunities and try and regain some possession, because that's where the Ireland success is coming from when they've got the lion's share of the ball. We're back underway. You can see Thomas Donoghue immediately pressuring. Kasper Volker Petersen swipes at the ball, and Matt Crowley has to clear it. You can hear what that means to the Danish fans. It's the first sight of goal they've had in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Kasper Volker Petersen into Torbjørn Krop. That would be very cruel to Republic of Ireland if their equaliser is cancelled out within a few seconds, so they have to be alert. They have to communicate.
You have to say that equaliser was coming. I think Ireland, like I said, Ireland started to turn the screw. They were getting better. They were pushing Denmark back. Denmark hadn't got out of their half in a good 5 or so minutes, and that pressure finally told.
Certainly in this second half, Ireland have been much the better. And I don't think it's a coincidence that has occurred when Douglas Montvillas has featured. But Emer O'Sullivan and Thomas Donoghue persistent throughout. Douglas Montvillas, just a shake of the head as the ball rolls out of play. As Steve Crump signals a substitute, it's going to be a reverse of the sub that Denmark made earlier in the half, as Carla Neumann comes off, and back on comes Mark Kronop Sorensen.
Seems a bit harsh on Neumann, that.
It does.
Hasn't really done, hasn't had an opportunity to do much. It hasn't done much wrong.
No, but Ireland did pick up a little bit of pace and momentum when they took Sorensen off. Whilst he hasn't necessarily had the timing or connection on his shots or passes. His positional play is a strong suit. As Krop just has to guide it out of danger. Probably the right decision.
Would you not make Torbjorn's set up by just putting someone in between him and the keeper? Put some pressure on him.
Yeah,
easy.
I don't disagree. Ireland never look a threat when they're set up that way.
Poor goal kick there from Fognerson allows Donaher to continue the pressure. Vilas let it roll out of play. Denmark under the cosh massively. Just think about what it does to the group. Denmark on 1 point after 2 games.
With England still to play. Yeah, very significant. As Thomas Donaher desperately looks for that goal that will put them in the lead. A little bit of contact that from Emer O'Sullivan. Just the other side of Steve Crump. Such fine margins. It falls kindly to Torbjorn Krop. No real options. Good work from Thomas Donaher. Just to dispossess Krop.
Just going to have a word with Sorensen and Donaher here. Tell them to calm down. Don't want to get the yellow cards out. We've only seen the 1 yellow card so far. This tournament, Ryan? For
No, more than one. Vladivan Bujabud and testing me now. Wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of your head, but I think there was one yesterday that I have observed on the team sheet or the match sheet as Emer O'Sullivan comes off to a round of applause. A good performance overall from her. Needed a little bit of time to grow into the pace of the competition, but after 37 minutes I would have her as my standout. Just interesting to see how Liam Lynch does in the centre already. The lack of concentration gifts Denmark a 2-on-1.
it's an interesting call, changing your middle player with 3 minutes to go.
Very much so. Certainly when you reference how impressive Emer O'Sullivan has been. But maybe that is the decision that turns the tide and ensures Ireland come away with 3 points. They're going to have to defend here, and Mark Roloff Sorensen, 37.5 minutes in, scores the goal to regain that 1-goal advantage. Now the question will be asked, how significant that substitute was. It was a needless 2-on-1 they gave away in the first place, and Denmark have capitalised.
It's a really well-worked goal. They've moved the ball nicely. Front bumper from Sorensen just into that gap behind Peterson. The 180 pass is sensational. Just in front of Crowley with enough pace, he had no chance to react. Sorensen is not the cleanest finish in the world. He just guided it in off his back wheel into that near corner.
Maybe that's what he needed, just to get his confidence up. He puts himself into some fantastic positions, but the timing and connection just hasn't been there. But what we saw there could be crucial for the outcome of Group B. But again, I go back to the needless 2-on-1. And Ireland will be kicking themselves because they've been far the better side in this second half. And now they have little more than a minute left to find an answer.
It strikes me as odd, only because the momentum was all with Ireland. Was there... There must have been a tactical reason for making the substitution, I'm sure. Crowley will have that. As Matt Crowley has to deal with that one and forces it forward to Tom Donoghue. And it's too heavy from Tom Donoghue. Got to be careful, no more. He has been warned 3 or 4 times now by referee Steve Crum. And Denmark will surely just hit this into the corner.
Liam Lynch doesn't look overly comfortable in his chair, continues to readjust himself. I wonder if that has played a factor. But you're probably going to see that experience and that stability now. That's synonymous with the Danish side. I very much doubt they're going to throw a great deal forward because they do not need a goal. That's a beautiful pass from Matt Crowley. And now a potential break. Naglis Montvillas unable to make connection. The right intent. Almost a rare mistake for him because he's typically so proficient at them.
That is a brilliant pass by Matt Crowley.
Yeah.
Drew Peterson in and then played it back behind him. Steve Crum just put the ball on the wrong line. The heat is getting to everyone. They're going to just tap this into Farrell. Let him dribble, try and waste as much time as they can.
The Denmark fans in fine voice now as they look to cruise their way to 3 points. They won't want to make any silly mistakes or
Crowley's just
gift possession. Here's a potential break on. Would have liked to have seen Sorensen in reverse there. The only option he had was try and guide it towards goal, which would never have had the power to bypass Matt Crowley. It's end to end. Denmark needlessly committing players forward. We're now into additional time, and when I say additional time, even factoring in that water break. So if Ireland do concede now, if Denmark do concede now, again, it'd be really disappointing for them because it's needless committing of players that's putting their defences in vulnerable positions.
You feel like this is it. This is it from an Ireland point of view.
This is a fantastic opportunity as well. Thomas Donoghue, I suspect, will be looking towards the front bumper of Liam Lynch. Denmark will be tested. Mark Kronop Sorensen high up the court. Kasper Volker Petersen marking over to Naglis Montvillas off the right hand post. That is bitterly unlucky, and that is the last action of the game. It took a little bit of time to grow into it, but what a game we've had. Denmark edge it 2-1 against Ireland, but they were made to work right to the very end. Torbjørn Kropp's first half strike gave them the lead before Ireland grew into the game and found their equaliser in the second through Naglis Montvillas. A clever, feint and composed finish that completely lifted his side. They were good value for it. At this stage, Ireland looked the more organised, defending with real discipline, showcasing resilience. Emer O'Sullivan was excellent in defence and attack, and it felt as though they might hold on for a valuable point or go on to take all three. But with just a couple of minutes left on the clock, it was Mark Kronop Sorensen who stepped up for Denmark, finding the decisive goal in the 38th minute to seal the win. Relief for Denmark after another patchy performance, and frustration for Ireland, who will feel they've done enough to earn something from the game. Denmark get the points they needed, but Ireland leave with some credit. Much improved, much more organised, and plenty to build on heading into the remaining group fixtures. I'm going to now pass over to Piero Guerra Longo, who looks as if he has Torbjørn Kropp for interview.
And here we are with Mr. Torbjörn Krarup. Did I pronounce your name?
That was nice pronunciation.
Yes, thank you very much. So, Torbjörn, what a match, super tight until last minute. You must be feeling crazy right now.
Yeah, we had a very difficult game yesterday. And yeah, we knew that this match was going to be very important. And it was so close, the whole game, back and forth. So happy. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I can imagine. How do you think about the other team? How did they play?
I feel like the second half, they were really, really good. And it could have gone either way. So props to Ireland. They played a good game.
Great. Congratulations. And what do you think you are looking forward next matches? What do you want to improve or change in the strategy?
I mean, it was very important for us to get a win because we obviously lost yesterday.
Yeah.
So I hope we can just keep building the momentum.
Sounds great.
Win more games.
Yeah, sounds great. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And hope you have a good rest.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be very long. Bye.
Bye.
Great. Thanks so much to Mr. Torbjörn. And now I think we're gonna have Mr. Tom. Please come in, Mr. Tom Donegal. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes. Let us help you to. Can you come a little bit closer? Yes. Here we go. Yes. Here we go, Mr. Tom. Wow. Everyone was holding the breath because this match was crazy. How do you think?
Disappointed not to lose the match, but we
Yes.
played well, brought it back, and then
You guys played amazing. We could all tell there was so much emotion going on in the field. You play with your heart. Unfortunately, you didn't win, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna go great in the next matches. How about Denmark? How do you think they played today?
well, I think they put a lot of pressure on us and probably two soft enough goals, I'd say, but we could have defended a little bit better.
Yes.
The first one was a set piece. We could have.
Yeah.
It was early on and got one back, and then
Yeah. Fair enough. And
closely matched, I'd say. But it was,
yeah, and also is a chance for you, to review the strategy and learn. What do you think you guys can change
maybe
for
just
the next matches?
play more with the goalie, use the goalkeeper a bit more. We tried to do it, but did it in moments, but not enough.
All right. Man, great effort. And I wish you all the best for the next matches.
Yeah, thank you.
Also to you. Take a good rest. You
Yeah.
will need it. All
Thanks
right.
very much.
Cheers. Thanks everyone again. We have another match very, very soon. I'll see you soon.